Here we go. I gotta turn that off or we're gonna get an echo. There we go. Okay. All right, looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturdays with Steph. And I have a special guest with me today, my friend Sean from The Guy Who Sews. Hi, Sean.
G'day, welcome. Sorry, this is not my life. It's yours.
That's okay. Thanks for being here today. Today, we are going to show you our Express Yourself quilts. It was a free pattern that we got off of Riley Blake's website, and Sean and I have been working on this each separately. And we decided to come together and show you guys what we have done. So we'll get there in a minute, but for those of you who may not know Sean, which if you don't, I'm not sure why you don't, but in case you don't, I'm going to let Sean tell you a little bit about himself and his channel.
Well, g'day. My name is Sean, and the accent is Australian. I grew up in Australia. I am now in Virginia, which is on the east coast of the US, and I've been here for about 21 and a half years. And I picked up quilting about 10 years ago, and yeah, about what was it? 18 months ago, I decided, why not start a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I saw people finishing projects on these YouTube channels. And I was joking with my wife, because she watches a lot of knitting ones, that these, the only way I might get some stuff done is by starting a channel. So I did. And I get quilt tops done now. I might not get the quilts done, but we're one step closer than we were before. But anyway, more about the channel. I have a weekly podcast where I just go through what I have done during the week. And that's a lot of fun. A lot of my viewers enjoy that. And then I have my own live, which is at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So yes, for anyone that's an early bird, we'd love to have you. And I usually bring on a special guest each week. It's a different content creator. And I try and bring on as many people as I can. Sometimes they're brand new content creators. Sometimes they're more established ones as well. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Nice. Now, there's a reason you do it at 8 a.m., correct?
Yes. That's the best time for me. Usually the rest of my family is sleeping, so it kind of disrupts everybody's schedule a little less
Yes.
when I'm up at 8. And, it was a time slot that nobody was filling. And I figured, what, let's try it and see if there's a need. And plenty of people show up every week. So
plus, you are from Australia and you've got a following from Australia, and they can watch you at that time, right?
If they're night hours,
Yeah.
depending time of year, it can be anywhere between 8 p.m. and midnight,
Okay.
wherever they're. So yeah, if you're trying to get on and watch me, midday in Australia, you'll have to watch the replay.
Awesome. Let's see. Russ is here from Quilt Meets World. He said he missed Sean's live this morning because he had to get blood drawn for lab work. That's what replays are for. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So I hear you're going to have a special guest on next week for a special day. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. It is my good mate, and it's your good friend too, Stephen Bland from Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter. And next Saturday is Canada Day. It's very similar to Independence Day in the United States, or Australia Day in Australia. And I know other countries have their own days, and I can't keep track of them all. But I figured, since it's Canada Day during my normal life, why not bring one of my favorite Canadians on with me? So he's going to come on and join me. He's always a hoot. He makes my job easy because he just talks the entire time. And he came to me the other day because we'd planned this, months in advance. And he's going to bring on some of his Canadian inspired quilts and do like a miniature trunk show. And we did a similar thing last year. And it was a lot of fun. So I'm really, really looking forward to having Stephen back on the channel with me next Saturday morning. So if you can make it, definitely come and join us. And if you can't, the replay is always there for you too.
Nice. I'm excited for that one. I'm going to set my alarm because usually that's mommy's day to sleep in a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I want to get up to see this. So I know he's got some fun Canadian quilts to show. And I know he loves maple leaves as much as I do. So I can't wait to see what he's got.
Yes, I've seen a couple of his Canadian maple leaves in the past, and I'm not sure if he's going to bring those or not. I have no clue what he's going to bring.
I don't either, but I hope so.
Yeah. But he said they're going to be Canadian inspired, and he always does such beautiful work. Like everything that he does is just stunning. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to the surprise just as much as everybody else. Like I don't ask what people bring, because it's more fun. That way you can get my, my reaction and my surprise just as much as else. I think it's more fun that way.
No, that's awesome. So if you haven't already subscribed to Sean, please go over to his channel, subscribe. He's doing a really great job. He's growing. I'm so proud of you. You've come such a long way. I've known Sean from the very beginning. I think I found you like you were 2 days into it or something.
Yeah, I was one of those crazy people. I did my first podcast and then decided 2 days later, hey, let's do Vlogmas, which was a
Vlogmas, right?
I figured if nothing else, it'll give me daily time in front of the camera and get used to the camera, because you and I have talked about this a lot before.
Yeah.
I'm very, very much introverted. I'm very shy, and sitting in front of a camera and talking to it terrified me. And I figured the only way I'm ever going to get over it was by, doing it more. So I figured I could do 30 podcasts over 30 weeks, or just do Vlogmas and just rip the Band-Aid off. And so that's what I did.
I know exactly what you mean. I can't even go watch my original videos because I cringe how bad they are. But because I'm like Sean, I'm very much an introvert and shy. So it does help bring us out of our shell though. So yeah.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's good to go back and watch those original ones, because then you can see the growth.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. All right, well, let's get to what we came here for, which is to take a peek at our Express Yourself quilts. This was a free pattern from Riley Blake, like I said earlier. If you would like to make this quilt, I did link it in the description box below this video, so you can just click on that link and you'll get the PDF. Like I said, it's free. If you do make it, I'm sure that Sean and I would love to see it, because different fabrics make every quilt looks different depending on like you have 10 quilters make the same quilt, but if they use all different fabrics, they always look different. And I always love to see that. I think that's really, really cool. And Sean and I both use different fabrics. So I'm going to let him go first and explain where he's at in his process with his quilt and what kind of fabrics he used. So go ahead, Sean.
Okay, so the goal was to have it completely finished, I believe. And some of us achieved that goal, and I'm very proud of those that did. And some of us fell this much short. Anyway,
no, you did great.
I'm very easily distracted as well. So, but I used a bunch of solids. Basically, what I did is I went through my solid scraps. I wanted to use as much stash fabric as I could, and I achieved that goal. And so I used a lot of solids from projects that I did last year. And so this is basically what I did.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And there's some Kona solids in here, and then there's some from another company whose name I cannot remember at this present time, that I used for the solar flake quilt that I did last year.
Okay.
So this is the nice mix. And then
beautiful colors. I love it.
I have this little border, and these are scraps from when I cut. When you do this section here, I think it is that right? This section?
Yes.
Yeah. And so I kept the pieces that I cut off and sewed them together, and I thought that would make a fairly nice little border to make it just a little bit bigger.
That's fantastic. You were super creative with that. I love that you did that. Mine went in the bin.
Yeah. Well, I know you're not a huge fan of scrappy projects either. Is that correct?
That's true, but part of that is because I never would have thought to do that. But I love that. I love how you did that.
I kind of got the inspiration from a project last year that I did. It was a pinwheel quilt. It was one that I made for our exchange student. It's currently sitting somewhere in Macedonia. I had a bunch of scraps cut off from that, and I was looking at them and I was like, these are too pretty to throw away. And so I sewed a couple of them together, and I was like, worst case scenario, I'm out 2 cents worth of thread. And I put it all together into like a line just to see how it'll look. And I was like, this is going to make a beautiful border. So I did the same sort of thing with that, but I had a lot more of it. So I was actually able to make like a solid line all the way around the quilt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You go back and check out, I think it's episode 75 or 76. You'll see that.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. And it was just, one of those things, I just saw the scrap sitting there, and I was just thought, why not put it together and see what happens? I figured I sewed a few pieces together and it looked terrible, I could just throw it in the trash and move on. But maybe it's going to turn into something beautiful, and it turned out great. So I kind of just took the same inspiration from that
Yeah.
and did this here. So yeah, sometimes if you see a scraps, you want to make a little border, sew
Yeah.
it together, see what happens.
I love it. And I love that you're so creative like that. So any thoughts on how you might finish it?
I
Like
do
the
want to put,
quilting or, that kind of thing?
I have not thought that far ahead yet.
Oh,
I want to put an additional black border, maybe 3.5, 4 inches around the edge. So it finishes
uh-huh.
out about, 50 by 60 or 50 by 70. I forget what size I was going for, but I really should have done that before today, but I got distracted. And then I don't know what I'm
No,
going to,
no quilter ever says squirrel.
I do, and I'm more than
We
happy
all
to.
do.
And yeah, I mean, I think I might just put the same black on the back, or it's actually a pepper. It's a very dark gray. It's not quite as stark as a black, which is what I really like about this.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the quilting pattern. If anyone has any ideas, any suggestions, please reach out and tell me. I might do something separate for the background as opposed to the colors themselves.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't have a long arm, so I get to play with my domestic machine, which I love, and I have the
Yeah.
big So Steady quilting table, which makes quilting on a domestic a whole lot easier.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, just stay tuned. I mean, at some point between now and the time I retire, it will be done. And but you'll see the updates when I figure something out eventually on my podcast as well.
Yeah. So for those of you who are getting to meet Shaw today on his podcast on Sundays, that's when he shows those kind of things. So make sure you're subscribing to him, ringing that bell and watching those, because you'll get to see him finish things there.
Yes.
So,
And you have
so
your own
anything else you have going on that you're working on right now that you're excited about?
Oh, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, you'll see more tomorrow. This morning I worked on, where is it? It's
Maybe
over
give him a
here.
little preview of what you might show tomorrow, or
Yeah, why not?
ooh, that's cool. Is that little 2.5-inch squares or bigger?
These are all 2.5-inch squares.
Okay.
I used to make a bunch of drawstring project bags for knitters and crocheters. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I kept all the you have to cut out 2.5-inch at the bottom to make the base of the bag. And
Okay.
so I kept all these little 2.5. I like to call them donut holes. We have charms, layer cakes, jelly rolls. So I figure, why not call them donut holes? That's
I
my name.
like that. I like that.
Yeah. See, why not? And so I kept all these, and I figured, one of these days I'm going to find a project for it. And last year I did a scrappy diamond project, which was basically a 16 patch and then some other stuff around it. It looks wonderful. Go check out those videos. I forget what episodes it is. It's like somewhere in the fall. You'll see a picture of it. But I still had a bunch of them left over. So I thought I'd do another one. And this is kind of what I call city avenues, because I kind of saw an inspirational picture for it, but there was no pattern. So I'm just kind of improvising it myself. And then
Nice.
the goal, it's kind of hard to show. Next week, come
Oh,
back.
no, I can see what you're going for there. That's going to look great.
Yeah, but basically I'm calling it city avenues because it's kind of like, here's the city block and then this is the avenue. Like,
Yeah,
that makes sense?
absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm working on that. I'm working on my Wizard of Oz inspired quilt that I'm doing. It's a So Long by Artie's Quilt Company.
Yeah.
And I'm working on block 6 of 9. It should have been done, 2 months ago, but who's counting? But I want to get the quilt top done before the next one comes out, which is Alice in Wonderland. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, and then I did my Cotton Cuts gnome.
Your gnome. Oh, cool. That's cute.
Yeah, but there's still more to see. So even though you've seen everything tonight, come back tomorrow morning and check it out.
Oh, yeah. Sean always has, like, I think all the rest of us, lots of projects going, and he shows them on his blog. So make sure you go check it out because it's really cool. Plus,
Yeah,
he asks us a question every time, and that's fun always to answer your questions. So
absolutely. And I always work on different stuff each week. It depends on what I feel like doing. So like you might see that project today, or tomorrow, but you might not see it for 3 weeks. So
yeah.
it's kind of like, I always talk like Forrest Gump, it's like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you got to get. So
I like that. I like that.
keep guessing.
Okay, well, I
Russ
have
said,
my
oh,
quilt.
I think you mean munchkins.
Munchkins, yeah. I have my quilt done. I quilted it and I actually finished binding it today during Steven's Zoom. He had a sew day today. So here's mine. I wish I was tall as Sean so I could show you the whole thing. I'm really short, so.
I love that.
And I made mine a little bit different than the pattern. I think the pattern made it, what, 48 by 48?
Yes.
So I added extra blocks. I can't remember how many across it was. Was it 4 or 5?
Looks like 6. One,
I
two.
did 6 on mine, 6 by 6. And it's all quilted in variegated rainbow thread. I don't know if you can tell. And then of course, you guys know I've loved blue. I put me some blue batik on the back.
I'm a little surprised you didn't do just all blue batiks.
No, I had these rainbow ones and I wanted to, you know.
I love that. It looks really
Yeah.
neat. Is that the fat quarters you got from Cotton Cuts last year on the Roses Your Way?
No, actually, Sean and I had talked about, because we both got the Cotton Cuts, the Christmas Roses Your Way batiks. And the whole thing that started him and I doing something together was, oh, let's use these batiks. Well, I ended up pulling a couple of them for something. And then when I was talking to Sean, he's like, well, I've already used some of them. So that's what ended up him using his solids. This was that quarter bundle of batiks I got from So Yeah, actually on their D stash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So,
I like the whole rainbow idea of the quilt, and I looked through the Roses Your Way that I got because I used a couple of it for a different project, and I just didn't see the variety in there.
yeah,
That was,
I didn't have enough, like you said, color.
yeah,
Everybody knows I got all the yellows. Lots of yellows, lots of greens, and then a bunch of white with prints. So I didn't have enough colors to do like a rainbow from that set of fabrics. I love those fabrics, but I didn't have enough, like you said, variety.
yeah. And it was interesting too, like with that project. Like I know you did an unboxing each day, and then Martha and I did a collab last year over on her channel, unboxing everything. And even though you and I both got the batiks, we got totally different fabrics.
Yes. And you got some where you had the same print as me, but the color, the base color was different.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like it in that color.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah, maybe you and I can talk and we can do a swap or something, like
Yeah.
it's always an
Yes.
option at some point.
I
So
am. I don't know about you, but I am planning on getting it again this year as long as they have it, because I did like that set of fabrics.
I'm on the fence. I haven't used it, so I'm not sure yet. But we'll see what happens. Plus,
Yeah.
I kind of spent all my money for Advent and on the kit for the Alice in Wonderland, because it's all tool.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
all out of Tula Pink, which I've never used and always wanted to. And
Oh,
so
that is
yeah,
going to be nice. When does that come out?
well, the kits I don't know if there's any left. They sold out very quickly. They got some more. When I looked the other day, they had 9 kits left. I don't know if there's any left now. But I mean, I snagged it as soon as it went on sale. So,
Okay.
but that sell along starts September 1st, I believe.
Okay. Are they
So,
given the option where you can buy just the pattern and then use your own fabrics?
yes.
Okay. So if somebody
That's
wanted to sew with you, they can.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Shannon bought the kit as well, if I remember correctly, and she can confirm that in the chat, I'm sure. But yeah, last time, like I didn't know about it until, well, I actually did, and I kind of sat on the fence for a very long time. I didn't sign up for it until December for the Wizard of Oz, and the kits were long gone, but it was all solid. So I just took the list with me to my quilt shop. I picked out all the fabrics and just did it myself. So yes, you can still go get the pattern and just make it up as you go along. Now, trying to source all the right tools might be a bit difficult, but you could always use blenders or solids or whatever else you like as well. So
Shannon said, yep, sure did, because Sean's an enabler.
yeah, I might have encouraged her on that one.
We all enable each other. That's what we're here for, right? And we
Absolutely.
also don't judge when we have a house full of fabric and buy more.
We just what do I like to say? It's something like we're just trying to protect ourselves from inflation. You know, you buy now and use later. So,
That's right. That's right.
so when
In case
fabrics,
there's another, knock on wood, there's not, but in case there's another pandemic, we're all set.
one of those in our lifetime will be more than enough. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh gosh. Okay, well, that's all that I've got. Is there anything else you want to talk about today, Sean?
I
Anything
don't.
fun, different coming up on your channel besides Steven and interviews and?
I mean, it's more of what I normally do. I mean, my viewers like what I do. So you know, if it's not broke, why fix it? I'm
Right.
always, yeah, I'm always happy to hear suggestions, of course. But yeah, we will be doing the carnival puzzle mystery quilt soon.
Yes.
I mean,
Now, are you an ambassador for this one again?
I am. I was. Yeah, they reached out and asked me if I'd do it again, and I'm like, absolutely. I love partnering with them as much as I can.
Nice.
And I'll be doing the bomb pop, which is the red, white, and blue, the patriotic themed one.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to do with it is I'm getting the border kit as well because I'm doing the small. And then once I get it all completed, I want to donate it to Quilt of Valor because I thought it'd be
Oh,
really
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because they, you know, being an ambassador, what they do for anyone that doesn't know is they provide me the fabric and the instructions free of charge. So I figured since I'm being blessed in that way, I'd like to pay it forward.
Nice. So for anybody who hasn't signed up for the Cotton Cuts Carnival, do you have a code that they can use to, like, say, I heard it from Sean or anything like that?
Surely you can use Sean Carnival, and it's SEAN, but I'm sure if you spelled it incorrectly, they'd probably figure it out.
Yeah.
Because there's like 7 different ways of spelling it. But you guys, you and Shannon also have a group discount, correct?
We do. We do. Yes.
So you can choose whichever way you want to go. I mean, you can use, I'd obviously love if you use my name because that helps them know that I'm, you know, doing my due diligence and increases the chances of them asking me to be an ambassador again. I love doing it. But if I
Yes.
don't sell any, they may just say, okay, well, this guy's not working out. But you know, which is fine. You know, like not a big deal.
No,
Looks
so
like,
everybody, if you haven't signed up yet, over there, check it out. There's a few colorways left. There's some sold out. So, but there's a few left. But definitely use Sean's code because we want to support him.
yeah, I think most of them. I think there's like 4 to 16 that's out. So I mean, there's still some very good options. And I was very, very tempted to go buy a second one, but I was like, I really don't. I do not need another project. Like,
Right.
because we were supposed to finish this one on what beginning of mid-April. Is that correct?
the this quilt that we just did.
Yeah.
Yes, we both got behind. It was both of our faults.
Yeah, we got behind, and then we were supposed to do a live. I think the day of Stephen's retreat, we were both exhausted, and then there was another day, and then we were doing stuff with our exchange student we had at the time, and then yeah, it was like if we don't do it now, we'll both be in our retirement homes holding up our quilts that we finally finished.
Right. No, yeah, it's just like you said, squirrel, a million things going on. And plus we both had personal things going on, families, and yeah, but that's okay. We got our tops done and mine's quilted and yours will be, so it's all good. So the other fun thing that's going to be coming up soon for me is Fort Worth Fabric Studio is doing another sew along that begins on Monday. So that's going to be a fun, quick 3-week sew along table runner. So those patterns are always free if you guys want to join me on Monday. And then later in July, and I haven't asked Sean about this yet, so I probably shouldn't say anything, but I'm going to anyway. Sean and I are going to get together. So maybe we can do a quick little video or maybe even a quick little live and say hi to everybody. But I'm really excited to meet you in person.
Yes, that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll talk more about that as we get closer. So
yeah,
looks like the stars might align on that.
that'll be great.
Was asking, is the discount just for the first shipment? No, I think the one, if you use Stephanie and Shannon's code, it's a flat discount for the whole thing, correct?
Yeah, it is. And how does yours work? Is it the same?
I don't know if there's a discount. I believe you get a free gift with your first month. So yeah,
Okay, got you.
yeah, whichever way works best for you is what I would suggest as well. And
Gotcha.
then the other nice thing with the carnival this time around is if you I think you've only got a couple more days. I think you have until the end of the month. If you prepay for the whole thing, they'll ship you all 10 clues at once at the beginning. And then, so that way you're not sitting there waiting at your post box every Monday morning after whenever they ship it out.
Yeah, the shipment. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know sometimes they get delayed, which is not Cotton Cut's fault,
Yeah.
it gets on a truck somewhere. They ship it all out at once, and then when the clues get shipped out, for this one will be the last Friday of each month. They just email you the clue, and then you can get sewing right away. And that's what they do with us as ambassadors. And I've loved doing it that way. And I'm really excited that they've been doing. It's something they're offering now to the general public.
And actually, that's the way I got mine this time, because I did have a couple times where one time it didn't show up. So I had to push my live because we're all sewing it together because I didn't even have my clue. And then another time I literally got it the day before. And it's not, like you said, Cotton Cut's fault. It's the shipping. USPS is kind of all over the place. A lot of stuff they get on time, but other things they either are really late, or I even had from my personal shipping things to people that bought things from my shop that they lost completely. So I was like, oh, this is amazing that they gave us this option. So I know I have all my fabric. I don't have to worry that it's going to be late or it's going to get lost or anything like that. So I'm excited that they gave us that option.
Yeah, and they've been offering that for the international customers for quite some time, because if you're international, like you live in Canada, Australia, UK, wherever, if you prepay, they will cover the shipping. There's no shipping costs worldwide, which is, I've never heard of another company doing that.
I haven't either. That's amazing. I mean, even like other big companies, and I hate to mention them, but Backorder Shop and like Missouri Star, they're like a $20 flat rate. So that's great.
Yeah, and that's about what it costs easily. It's not cheap internationally. So for Cotton Cuts to say, hey, yeah, we'll ship to, someone in Sydney, Australia, Auckland, New Zealand, London, UK, for the same price as we do in the US, that's unheard of. It's just such a, you do have to pony up a whole amount up front. But, I've got one, like I know I talked to one person who said, yeah, I can't do it this time around, but they got to save the money. And then when the spring one for 2024 comes out, they'll be able to go ahead and just, pay for it, and they'll be able to do it as well, even though they're on the other side of the world. So I think it's awesome doing that.
That's awesome, because it's another way that she's able to connect quilters all over the world, because it's including them,
Yeah. They do a wonderful job. I've actually had the pleasure of having the owner and CEO, I guess, I forget what the official job title is, but Kim Moose, she's just a wonderful lady.
She's the owner. Yeah.
She was on the channel a few weeks ago, and I just had a hoot talking to her. She was just the nicest lady. So,
oh yeah, she's great. I met her at Quilt Market this last year, and she's just a fabulous person, and her whole team is. I met Jessica and Robin and all those people there, and they're great. So great company to support. I feel like they give back with the people they employ in their community, and like I said, they connect quilters all over the world. So I think it's a great company to be with, and I'm excited that you're an ambassador with them again.
Yes. Yeah, no, I was super excited when they sent me a message and said, hey, do you want to do Carnival with us? I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. So Marjorie's asking, how do you get your discount code?
Perfect. Shannon just answered, because it's actually, you have to email Shannon. So Marjorie, if you look at Shannon's message, Slate Arts, who's here in the chat, she'll tell you how. So
excellent.
There's not a code you put in for ours. You have to get on our list and all that stuff. So yeah.
Shannon will set you straight on that one there as well.
Yes, she will. She's been great. She came to me with that idea for Village Green, and I said, ooh, I'm kind of at my capacity with what I can handle. And she's like, don't worry, I'll deal with all the emails. You just host it on your channel. And I said, okay. So she's actually got the hard part, not me.
Yeah. But we all use our talents. Some people are great at organization. That's, definitely my wife and our family. She is a great organizer and all that sort of stuff there. And I do okay. But you use the talents and the resources you have available to you. Work smarter, not harder.
That's right. That's right. So she's been great, and I appreciate that, Shannon. So yes, if you guys have any questions, She put her email down there, so go ahead and email her and she can tell you all about it because she's the one who's been in contact with Cotton Cuts. I'm just the host on my channel for y'all to sew together. So
That's fun. So yeah, no, it's always fun watching you guys sew together and that sort of thing there as well.
thank
And then I
you.
think we'll have you on in August to sew with me, one of the clues, correct? For Village
Yes,
Green?
I'm
Yeah.
really excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely. Melissa said, when will your fall project box be available? It'll be available in about 2 weeks. Now that I'm home, I'm done with all the traveling. I can cut it all up and get it ready for you guys, but it's definitely here. And so you'll have plenty of time to get it done before fall starts. So yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yep. Okay, well, I think that's it. If you do you have anything else to talk about?
I don't think so. I mean, I just want to say thank you to everyone that came to watch us
Yeah.
and see what we got up to. And it's nice to be able to, put the closing chapter on this because it's been a fun collab, and I'm sure we'll definitely do some more projects together in the future. But yeah, something that was supposed to take 6 weeks didn't quite take 6 months, but
That was the funniest part because we kept going back and forth with each other. Oh, do you need more time? Yeah. Do you need more time? Yeah. And we just kept pushing it and pushing it. But you're right. We got so many things going on. You still work full time plus do this. And like you said, those squirrel moments where you see all these other things and yeah, trying to keep up with everything. Well, it is what it is. It's all good.
but I think it's also important to say no, or we need to push it back and that sort of
Yeah.
thing there. It's too easy to get overwhelmed and
Yes.
take on too much. So I think, it was good that we did that.
Yeah. I
I've
agree
got,
with you.
yeah, there's other projects in the works I've been doing with other creators. Like I love to collaborate with everybody. If you haven't figured that out already.
I
And
know you do.
yeah,
No, I think you're absolutely right. And it sort of takes the joy out of it when you have these like hard deadlines, right?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I try very hard on my channel. Like I sew what I want. You see what I want to sew. And I do it. I like to do it on my timeline. Now, I will tell you, beginning of September, when we're getting ready to submit stuff to the State Fair of Virginia, I will be sewing like a madman, putting my binding and hanging sleeves on. That will not change as much as I want it to. I always say every year I've got to get it done early, but I can guarantee you, September 4th or whatever the date's going to be, I'll be up until midnight and then getting up at 7 o'clock the next morning to drive the Doswell to drop it off. So,
Yeah.
but other than
Yeah.
that, I just try and I go along at my own schedule, and I think that's important sometimes because otherwise it becomes a chore and not fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. All right, guys. Well, don't forget to check out Sean tomorrow morning on his vlog. And what time do you normally post that?
It was up at 9 a.m. Eastern.
9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't catch it right when it comes out, don't worry. It's going to be there. It's going to live on his channel. And then check out my channel on Monday for the Fort Worth Fabric Studio Sew Along. And don't forget, next Saturday, he's going to have Steven on, which is always fun. And it's going to be a treat. I can't wait to see that. I will be there for sure. So thank you so much, Sean, for coming today.
Rob,
It's
thanks for
always
having
a
me.
joy to talk to you. And we'll see you all later. Hang on for a second, Sean.
No
But
problem.
bye, everybody.
Bye.
Cool. Off.